Hello, everyone. This is Manvel Academy. Today we have a new lesson, grammar lesson. We're talking about the questions in the present simple. I know that some people find difficulty in forming a question or writing a proper question. So today we're going to learn how to do that. First of all, you need to know that there are two types of questions. We have the yes and no questions. Oh, sorry. That's the first type. And the WH or H questions. Okay? So those are the two types of questions that we have in English in general. But before we take these two types, let's talk about another thing. Something that I call, and pay attention because this thing is very important to know so I can form a question. Something called auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. Now, you need to know that in English, there are too many types of verbs. The verb has many types. You have a main verb, you have linking verbs, you have auxiliary verbs, you have helping is auxiliary. There are too many verbs, but the verbs that we're going to take today is called a helping verb. The helping verb of the present simple, I call it verb to do. We all know verb to do. Verb to do actually is a main verb and a helping verb. But anyways, let's just focus on a helping verb. Of course, we all know that verb to do is do, does, and did, right? This is verb to do. But since we're talking about the present simple, present, so we'll be focusing on these two, do and does. Type. What are we talking about and why is this auxiliary verb is important and what am I going to do with this auxiliary verbs? I'm going to tell you everything, but first, please focus on do and does. All right. If I have a sentence and I ask you or I told you, Jack plays football. Now, you need to know something that auxiliary verbs must be visible, means I have to see them in the sentence. لازم الauxiliary verbs أقدر أشوفهم مكتوبين قدامي in the sentence. There are many types of auxiliary verbs, by the way. There is verb to be, verb to have, modal verbs. Anyway, there are too many. The auxiliary verb of the present simple is different. الauxiliary verb for present simple different. طيب قبل ما نتعمق ونخش أكتر الauxiliary verb ده بيفيدني في إيه؟ What do I use it for? Actually, auxiliary verb are useful for two things. First of all, to form a question and to form a negative. Meaning you can never form a question. You can never form a negative without an auxiliary verb. Okay? Okay. So that's why the auxiliary verb is important. because I need it. I need it for the sake of a question, and I need it for the negative. Okay, since I am in the present simple, what are my auxiliary verbs that I'm going to use to form a question and to form a negative? The do and does. How? We will go to see together. Okay, again, let's go back to the sentence. I have Jack plays football. Like I said before, in order to form a negative or a question, I need to see with my own eyes the auxiliary verb. لازم يكون في الجملة قدامي auxiliary verb، حاجة أقدر أشوفها عشان أستخدمها، عشان أقدر أعمل negative وأقدر أعمل question. طيب, and I said that we need do and does. Okay, can you see do or does in this sentence? Written? Are they written? No, right? Can you see any do here? Can you see any does here? Nothing. Allah, how am I going to form a question and a negative? How am I going to do that? When you or if you can't find an auxiliary verb, look for the verb. تاني. When you can't see an auxiliary verb in front of your eyes, قلنا قبل كده auxiliary verbs زي مثلا is, am, are, was, were, verb to be, verb to have, verb to do, too many verbs. If I can see do or does in the sentence, because I need them both with the present simple, if I can see them written مكتوبين, يبقى I will have to go to the verb. What is my verb here? Plays. So plays is my verb. طيب, I look at the verb. What's next? هعمل ايه? I will tell you that the verb here, there is an auxiliary verb inside the verb. يعني ادي الverb. Sorry. This is the verb. Inside the verb, there is an auxiliary verb. مستخبي, hidden. إيه how come? I'll tell you how come. Let me erase this first. Okay. Plays. There are two things for plays. There is does, because I have S, and play, because I took the S away from plays, because I said does. So play can't have an S. The S is does. So plays is play plus does. Type. If I give you a verb and I told you, for example, eats. Eats. Eats is what? There's an auxiliary verb in eats. What is the auxiliary verb? S. S means does. So, verb eats is does and eat. Okay? All right. So, 1 minute, let me erase that. Okay. So this means that plays has an auxiliary verb inside of it, which is does. So, and does, it turns out to be an auxiliary verb. Now, I can use does to form a question and to form negative. Okay? All right. Now I know the meaning of auxiliary verb. أنا كده عرفت auxiliary verb يعني إيه. The auxiliary verb especially the verb to do مش بيبقى مكتوب. Verb to do, I can't see verb to do. Verb to do is the only verb or the only auxiliary verb that I can't, the auxiliary verb that I can't see. Where can I find it? Inside the verb. Okay? But let me give you another sentence. If I told you they clean every week. Okay? I need an auxiliary verb. Is there any auxiliary verb written right in front of your eyes? Can you read them? No. Okay? If I can't find the auxiliary verb, where should I go? The verb. Very good. And the verb. Since I am in the present, is there an S here? No. So it can't be does because there's no S. If it's not does, then it's what? Excellent. It's do. So it's clean plus do. Did I have an do I have an auxiliary verb now? Yes, I do. Here it is. Okay?